welcome. I'd like to introduce Mr. Billy Ramsell, who's joined me on stage.
Hello.
Thank you, Billy.
Hey, you're grand. So we've been working on heresies from throughout the history of the Christian faith, of which there are many. We're going to talk about 4 tonight. Am I right? Yeah, 4. And not in any particular chronological order, but beginning with
Gnosticism. That's as funny as it's going to get. There has to begin or orthodox in order for a heretical. And if there isn't a natural order, one has to be fixed with human hands with expilations. The world cannot care. The only piece no one cares. On its way up is internal. The lower half up, the upper half low, the material world, Ealaíon, remainder.
I think of you less often now. No, since the feds and the programming. After the 6 months in St. Mary's, after the blue pills and group, the whole compound's just a vagueness, you know. I only know I love you. You and Karina and Katerina, and even that scheming nun-bitch Leonella. But mainly you. Not just for the cupped breasts and cuddling, but because our sisterness, as the second William once said of it, went beyond biology, beyond that dictated by any happenstance of protein. I think less often now of your cot in our narrow dorm, of how I'd rise early and wash myself, to flinch once, twice, 3 times, before the alpine sluice in a bare-ass cubicle, to feel lifted out of myself, to let, as the second William once put it, the day in its abrasiveness scour my bones, to feel clean. Anglicanism. Jan Hus was a decent man, and a decent man was he. He held the fury of St. Vitus in his right hand, and in his left our great linden tree. Or Jan there, Jan, where did you wander? Oh, in Constance Square they burned him. Where are your holy bones asunder? Oh, the autumn wind returns them. And now they settle on the great Charles Bridge, like salt from out a shaker. So roam the season every hollow and hill of them that dare rebuke her.
The contemporary might shift, that is called a schism. And we might have renewed appreciation / use for those younger grave daring dead, a bulwark against the sight of those men coming back to the camp blundered, eyes gouged out, noses and upper lips cut off, grinning in a style experienced in return. The leader with a single eye to guide them. I ask young men where they get their wife. A speed dating arranged early teen or bossing boating, if not walking on water. Either way I was on my rounds, administering gases and pills to the sick and dying, my birdie nose stuffed with the sweets contained in Pop-Tarts. My hump swells at the thought of my new wives to me, gay as a cloud, dredging split in 2. Nestorianism. I am indeed, and what was his job? Annoying to have to march off sick, but one of the last indignities I'll have to suffer. At what life of many dies a woman, and at what a man ceases training himself to be accustomed for humiliation, for what pride is seems to the lion banner that is not advisable to the serf, and the seed that is me at a regular job. When will end my readying to be humbled and embarrassed in favour of actual pride that need not now be killing and glories? Never, says an animal always aging, in a world now full of hate for the old, though all will be, and the young are more awful than ever before. While left to me, I will fringe the terrible of being feared and imprisoned, while others pretend to not be able to imagine this might be pleasurable, despite so many doing so often. But those are also like the old.
Do you in your futile, well-meant prayers revile me, Arrhenius, here in my backwater overtime in exile? Not the saved, but leek-scented pagans with their queer observances of salt and kiln and cedar-scented fire. Not our harbour phosphorescence, but the arse-clogging dust, imported from the desert in a neutral, ceaseless mist. No sherbet scent, but coddle pots, not limestone in the squares, but goat-lithe urchins and gurning, tattooed blackamoors. Not cupola light, and the air of empire and your sayings for me now, but a half-tolerated chicken shack congregation. So tell me, old friend and sensei, my persecutor, sponsor, how happy are you now that it's come to this? It's okay. Don't answer. Arianism. I've seen our eastern bishop strike the earth until a corridor is opened from the dusty ground to hell, and from that cleft grey pelted monkey men, fanged, unloosed and flat-faced, fill all the desert with their fetid platoons. I've seen what's coming. They'll spare our Aryan church, take their impatience west and south to scour heresy's creche. Gangrenous, uncountable, with a sore need for vagina, they'll overtop casement and barbican in a gibbering tide, leave forums dung-filled, gutters gargling on the viscera of youth, the air with lament and bone smoke, freighted. Your every tower by truth pulled down, your vainglorious chapels pulled down into the street, your new Rome and your old made powder.
An epic is a map where there are men in sight, as ideas of women can grow carried on away like water-deprived throats. Microbes eating slim a lice lord now, a surrender while I grey reactionary at hours on deposit of rations and face of doom. And Arius swept his sword over men, and they saw those so enormous, and I will not yield, screamed him, and if I will die, it shall be my own hand, and then freely enter hell as consequence. And a gap opened up, an internal knot in light, in which the bright knights, those few of honour, were left less alone and in love, intelligenced by the scarcity of unexpected intuition and stress. It was an estate. Thank you. Now I can be funny again. Introducing next Patrick Coyle and Alva Darcy.